Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to The Sims 4 and welcome back to another speed build. So today we're actually going to be building another community lot in The Sims, and this lot is actually going to be a huge spa and gym lot for Oasis Springs for my save file. So this build has been done and sitting in my footage folder for months at this point, which is actually kind of embarrassing to admit. But this was actually the last build that I did for my save file, for like the first version of it, before I could actually like get my save out. So at this point, when you guys are seeing this video, the save file is actually already out. It has been out since the 31st of December, and I will leave a link down below to the Tumblr post that I did with, you know, more information, the download, all of that stuff. And I'll also leave a link down below in the description to my save file overview that I did, where I went over it, talked a little bit more about it, you know, all of that stuff, in case you want to go ahead, check it out. But yeah, so this build it has already been in my save file, you know, since I finished it, and it's been in like the released version of my save. So if you have downloaded my save file already, you probably have already seen this build, but I just haven't made a video of it. But yeah, so I started this build in like August, I think like the 11th of August or something of 2022, by the way. And I basically just did the exterior shape. So what you're seeing on the screen right now, like the shape of the build, the layout, and the roofing, I think is all that I did. I didn't even know if I did all of the windows or anything like that. But then I basically left it. I did that, and I don't know why I left it, because I was really excited about getting this build done. But I left it, and I then left it for like I think 2 months or something. And then I came back to it and finished it around like the 22nd to like the 27th or so of November of last year. So that's when I did, you know, all of the painting, furnishing, landscaping, you know, all of that stuff. And then once I had the build done and all of the footage done, I just let it sit in my unedited folder, and it sat there for like a month, or like more than a month actually, because yeah, I finished it on like the 27th of November. So yeah, it has been more than a month. And then this week, like Tuesday or something, I actually came back to it and I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to let this huge build sit on my computer for like months more at this point. I'm gonna get it done, because obviously the save file is out, so I kind of like, I want this build out as well. So yeah, I came back to it and I sat down yesterday. I'm recording this on Wednesday, by the way, so I am a little bit ahead because I think this is going to go up on Saturday. So I'm recording this on Wednesday, and yesterday, Tuesday, I actually sat down and I edited this. So it took me like all day, by the way, because I had about like 6 hours worth of build footage, which is why I put off editing it for so long, because I knew it was going to take me absolute ages. But I had like 6 hours worth of footage. The video was originally going to be like 52 minutes long, but I had to obviously cut out a lot of stuff to make it like 30 something ish minutes. So the speed build is about 36 minutes. And then the screenshots at the end are, I don't know how many minutes of screenshots I have, but I have quite a lot of screenshots because I had to cut out quite a bit. So I cut out me doing basically all of the landscaping, because it is a community lot and the landscaping isn't all that interesting. And like I said, I do show everything in the screenshots. I made sure to get a ton of really pretty screenshots and everything like that. So yeah, I cut out the landscaping, and I also cut out one of the bathrooms in the basement. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the basement there's actually going to be 2 separate sets of bathrooms. So the one set of bathrooms is the one that you can access via this kind of like main building at the front. So basically how this build is laid out, the gym portion of it is basically this building at the front. So the building that has that little diagonal bit and that's kind of connected together by that undercover walkway. So both of those buildings are kind of like the gym area. So the one that has that little rounded turret at the top. So that's the gym. And one of the bathrooms you can actually access through the main building of the gym. So the building basically where I have the punching bags, you guys will see that once I get to furnishing, but the building that has the punching bags and where I'm doing this front desk type thing. So there's a staircase, you can access those like bathrooms from this building, and those bathrooms are actually the bigger ones as well. So they have a lot of like toilet stalls as well, and then they also have a little separate like almost locker room type area with a couple of shower places and lockers and stuff like that. So I show me furnishing that one. But then we also have another one, or like another bathroom space, which is accessible via the pool. So you guys can see that I do have this really cool undercover pool area with the glass roof and all of that stuff. So next to the pool there's actually like 2 staircases going down, and that leads into another bathroom. So that bathroom just has toilet stalls and sinks in it, but I do cut that one out. And then the building that we're working on right now which is, I know this is all very confusing, but basically this building with the hot springs from Snowy Escape, this building is actually the spa portion. So this has just the hot springs downstairs, couple of seating spaces, and then it also has a really tiny bathroom or like shower bathroom next to it. So basically that bathroom space or like locker room space just has a bunch of lockers, a couple of sinks, and 2 showers, two separate showers in it, just so that your Sims can shower before they go into the hot spring. And then upstairs we have all of the like spa items. So we have the manicure and pedicure like stools, or like, I don't know, yeah, basically like stools or lounges that your Sims can sit in to get manicures and pedicures. And then we also have a couple of massage tables. And then yeah, so that's basically the buildings. And then outside, I know this is all so confusing but basically outside we have a yoga area, so a yoga mat that's actually like for an instructor. So if you play with this lot, an instructor will actually show up and your Sims can, you know, do like yoga classes and stuff. I also have a little meditation area set up. Now obviously in the game there aren't any like meditation instructors or teachers or, you know, anything like that, but I like laid it out in a way to make it kind of look like there's supposed to be a Sim kind of like leading a meditation class or something. But yeah, so we have all of that outside along with a bunch of landscaping. Oh, I'm sorry, my voice, I don't know what is going on with my throat at this point, but I've been a little bit ill, like sick with like a cold or something since just after Christmas, and it still hasn't gone away. I've been feeling a lot better recently, but for some reason my throat has started to act up, which is really irritating because this voiceover is long and I need to talk a lot. So apologies if my voice sounds a little bit weird throughout this voiceover, or like if my voice, like the pitch of my voice changes, or I start sounding like I have a frog in my throat or whatever. But yeah, that's just, I can't really do anything about that. But yeah, so that's the exterior. And then the gym basically just has obviously the boxing or like punching bag area in the one building. So I'm gonna say the main building, but that building has obviously the like little, I guess, reception desk, which doesn't really serve a purpose apart from like looking cool. But yeah, we have the reception desk. We also have the punching bags in that building. And we have obviously, you know, the access to the bathrooms and the locker rooms downstairs. And then I also put in a little like almost kind of like kitchen type space. So I don't know if that would be for the members of the gym, you know, if they have access to like a little kitchen with a kind of like vending machine type fridge where they can buy like quick meals and stuff. And I also put in a microwave and a coffee machine and a couple of tables. So I don't know if that would be like for the gym members, or maybe that's for the gym like workers, like instructors or trainers or whatever. But yeah, we have that. We're actually working on it right now. And then the other gym building that's accessible from like the walkway, like across from this main building, and also from the like swimming pool at the back. But that building is actually where I have all of the treadmills and the weight machines. So yeah, I kind of split them up a little bit, which I know isn't great for gameplay because your Sims have a lot of like space to cover if they want to go from one area to another. But this is a really big lot. It's like a 40 by 30 lot, and I wanted this lot to look filled in, and like I like used all of the space because it is a community lot. So I didn't want it to have any like big open areas that I had to like landscape and, you know, stuff like that, because obviously I didn't want to go overboard with landscaping because it is a community lot, and it's also in Oasis Springs. So obviously I don't want to like go overboard with landscaping when you're in the middle of the desert. And yeah, I tried to make it fit in with the buildings in the surrounding area as well. So a couple of times you'll see me like kind of zoom out and like look at the other buildings. I think I cut all of those like weird bits out, but I might have left like 1 or 2 in. But I really took inspiration from the buildings surrounding it, especially for things like wallpapers. So the brick that you'll see me use on the exterior, that brick is the same brick that I used for the nightclub slash like karaoke bar slash lounge that's right next to this build. I'll leave a link on the screen for that build as well because I love the way that one turned out. But yeah, all of these builds, by the way, they're all in my rebuild Oasis Springs playlist, which I will leave linked probably on the screen, definitely in the description. But yeah, feel free to go ahead, check those out. But yeah, so I used that same brick on the nightclub. I think I also used it on the bakery and cafe lot that's next to the nightclub. So yeah, I tried to make all of these builds kind of look similar and kind of look like, you know, they are in the same area. And that's something that's really big for me with my save, is making all of the different areas in the different worlds kind of look like, you know, they belong together, if that makes sense. So for this area, I didn't want to have like I didn't want to suddenly have this big modern gym in the middle of all 3 of these like more Mediterranean style like other community lots, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, I really like the way this build turned out. I hope you guys do as well. And you'll notice that whenever I do a gym build, especially for my save file, I tend to combine it with other lots. I tend to combine it with either a cafe lot or like, you know, a spa lot. I think the one in Willow Creek, the gym that I did for Willow Creek, was also a gym and a spa. And I'm probably going to keep doing that with all of the other gyms in all of the other worlds as well, just because it makes them that little bit more functional. Because I don't know about you guys, but my Sims, whenever I play, they very rarely go to a gym just to go to a gym. Usually whenever I have them go to a gym lot, it's to go and take like yoga classes, or, you know, maybe to like use a treadmill or something. But usually it's to have like an outing with friends or with their like older children, or, you know, go and take like a yoga class or a meditation class, like I say in air quotes, or, you know, stuff like that. So I really try and make my lots as multifunctional as possible, because we don't have multifunctional lots in the game, unfortunately. But whenever I do builds, especially community lots, I try to make sure that they can be used as more than one thing. So for example, this lot, if you don't want to have it set as a gym in your game, you can actually go into build mode and just set it as a spa, and you'll have everything that you need. The same with, you know, the nightclub that I mentioned earlier. That build can actually function, and it like meets all of the requirements in the game to work as a nightclub. It can work as a lounge, and it can work as I think it can work as a bar as well, but it can also work as a karaoke club. So if you don't want a nightclub in your Oasis Springs, you can have, you know, any of the other lot types. Same with like the bakery that I also mentioned. So I have actually a family that owns that bakery, and they run it as a retail store. But then next to it, I built a cafe, and in that cafe, they can actually obviously, you know, hire a barista to tend the like cafe like station if you wanted to. But if you don't want a retail lot, and if you don't want to play with the retail lot, then you can just set it as a cafe and it will work perfectly fine. Sims will show up, a barista will like automatically like show up, and you know, all of that stuff. So I tried to do that with as many of my builds as I can, just to make sure that you have a nice bit of variety that you can choose from if you play with my save file, or if you just play with my builds and like download them from the gallery. Because I know we don't have a lot of lots in a lot of the worlds. A lot of the worlds are a little bit smaller than we would like, and obviously we can't add lots. So having like, I say quote unquote like multifunctional lots is really useful, so that you can change them up without actually having to change up the lot, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know why I just started rambling about that. Please forgive me. It's like almost 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and usually if you guys are like regular viewers on the channel, you'll know this, but usually I don't record voiceovers during the day because I tend to get really easily distracted. And during the day, obviously I have a lot of like noise around me. For some reason today is quite quiet. I'm actually home alone, and yeah, so the house is a little bit more quiet, and our neighbors and everything is a little bit more quiet as well, which is weird during the day. So I'm like taking advantage of it while I have it. But yeah, this is why I'm a little bit talkative. Usually I just took my like ADHD meds as well, and they always make me talkative. So yeah, I'm a little bit talkative, I'm a little bit distracted and all over the place because, like I said, I am home alone. So I actually have my bedroom door open, which is something I never do when I record. But yeah, so I have my bedroom door open, so like I'm like with half an ear kind of like listening to our dog to hear if he starts barking or something, because you guys will hear that if he does start barking at any point during this video. I'm sorry, I'm not going to cut it out because it's just going to be a pain. So I'm not going to cut it out, but if you hear him start barking at some point, I do apologize. But I do have a dog, and he is a guard dog. He is very protective of me, especially when I'm alone. So he will bark at literally anything. He's in the house and he can go up onto the front balcony that kind of like overlooks the road and stuff. And if there's a car in the road, he'll bark. If he hears another dog, or if he hears a person, like in any of the surrounding houses, he'll start barking. Hell, if a leaf moves in the road, he'll start barking. So he's very protective. So yeah, if he starts barking, I do apologize. And then we also have a bunch of like, I don't know what the English words are for them. I don't know what the English name is for them, but basically in Afrikaans we call them playtested, and I don't know if they're like guinea fowl in English or what. I don't know, but we have a bunch of them in the backyard. Not really in the backyard, we live like halfway up a mountain, so our backyard kind of just like backs onto the mountain, and there's no like fence or anything. So basically they live on the mountain, like in the shrubs and stuff, and a lot of the times they'll come to the house for food and, you know, stuff like that. So they'll stand on like the terrace at the back of my room. Our house, basically our backyard, has like terraces, like garden terraces going up onto the mountain, like 3 of them. And the one lowest one is basically like, I don't know, like 3 meters, like 2 meters from my bedroom, like bedroom windows. So like, I don't know, what's that, like 8 feet, 9 feet or something from my bedroom windows. And they'll stand on the terrace and like look at my bedroom because they know this is where I am and I'm usually the one that feeds them. So they'll stand there and they'll like scream at me. They make this really high pitched, almost squeal type of sound. It's really funny actually, but you can tell when they're like calling to you and they like want you to give them like food, or they want you to come outside or whatever. And if you guys hear that as well, I do apologize because I have my windows open, which is really stupid of me. I should have closed at least my windows, but yeah, I didn't. So if you hear that, I apologize. But yeah, I don't know why I was rambling about that, because I don't know, this voiceover is very long and it's a community lot, so I can't really like talk about it too much because I don't have like a family that I can give you a backstory for or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, and you guys can see most of what I'm doing. Everything that I do is kind of fairly self-explanatory, so I don't really feel like I need to commentate on what I'm doing. But anyway, so we're currently actually working on the swimming pool area, and I did actually end up putting in a couple of windows in the pool to kind of look into that little hallway that goes to the bathroom downstairs, just because that hallway was kind of it's very narrow. It's just how the floor plan worked out, but that hallway is very narrow and it was actually kind of depressing looking. So yeah, I added the windows just to open it up a little bit. And yeah, I don't know, I really like the way this build turned out. I have played in it as well, so it is playable. I play tested everything. The hot springs in the spa works perfectly fine, even with those light curtains from high school years over it. Everything works. I play tested everything works. And yeah, I don't know, I hope you guys like how this build turned out. If you want to download it, it is up on the gallery. I'll have a gallery download link below, as well as the tray files will be up for channel members. But obviously, if you've downloaded my save file, you've already gotten this build. And this is something that's really funny, and I should have noticed this way earlier. And I haven't really done it. I haven't done it yet. I won't be doing it until we get into furnishing the spa area, which is like the last thing that we do. But on the second floor of the spa, so where the massage tables and stuff like that is, there's this one plant from the Blooming Rooms kit that I pulled out at some point, meaning to use it somewhere, and I kind of like left it in the middle of the floor, and I forgot about it when I was furnishing, and I never deleted it. So when you like play with my save file and you go to this lot, you might just have to look around the spa. So like the second floor of the spa, kind of almost way at the back, right next to one of those like manicure and pedicure chairs, like right next to one of them, there's going to be a plant, like one of the small standing plants. It's just there in the middle of the floor, and I actually left that in my save file, in the version that's in my save. That plant will still be there, and honestly, I do not know how I missed it. But obviously, when I finished building this, and when I finished building it way back in November and put it in my save file, I didn't immediately go in to take the screenshots. I play tested everything and everything worked, but I didn't really pay attention to what was going on like around my Sims. I was just looking at, can my Sims do everything? And I didn't go in to take the screenshots immediately because I didn't want to like edit it. So yesterday, or like Tuesday, when I was going and I was editing the video and I realized obviously, I need the screenshots, I went in to take the screenshots and I noticed that plant. And I'm so embarrassed that it's still a thing in my save file. I feel so stupid for leaving that in. But obviously at this point, it's too late to take it out. So, I mean, out of the save file, because obviously you guys have already downloaded the save file. So, yeah, I don't know. It will still be there in the speed build, but I did take it out when I was going to take the pictures. I took it out. The version that I have up on the gallery, that I have uploaded to the gallery, won't have that plant because I deleted it beforehand. But if you've downloaded my save file, or if you download my save file in the future, it will be there. You might just have to go in and delete it. But the second version of my save file, so whenever that comes out, like the updated version of my save, it will be fixed. But yeah, I'm actually really embarrassed about that, because usually I'm quite good at remembering to delete stuff if I've pulled it out or like left something somewhere. And you know, I'm usually pretty good at deleting them before I like upload the lot or like use the lot or whatever, and for some reason I just didn't this time. So yeah, you might just have to go in and delete the plant. But it doesn't block anything, by the way. It doesn't block any of the items or block any of the routing or whatever. Your Sims can still get everywhere. It's just, it looks kind of stupid because it's in the middle of the floor. And I'm sitting here laughing, but honestly, last night when I was taking the pictures, when I saw that, I wanted to start crying because I put so much pressure on myself to make sure that my save file was like perfect, or like as close to perfect as I could possibly get it in my head. And then I did something like that, and it's just like, it kind of reminds me of that quote. I don't know what it's from, but something that says, you know, the best laid plans of mice and men, and then something. But basically it comes to the point of, you know, you can plan all you want, but sometimes things will just happen. And this was one of those times. So yeah, I thought I should mention that. But yeah, we're kind of working on the courtyard in the middle of the build, kind of. So this is where obviously the yoga mats, the meditation stools, and you know, all of that stuff is. Like I said, I did cut out a lot of the landscaping, and that it's just because it's nothing special, and you can see all of it in the screenshots, and it's very repetitive. So yeah, I cut that out. But yeah, I hope you guys like how this turned out. It is, like I said, it has a lot of stuff to do, so yeah, your Sims shouldn't be bored. But you'll also notice, usually whenever I do a gym build, I'll add a TV next to, or like in front of the treadmills, because your Sims can actually run on the treadmill and then watch TV, which is great if they're doing it on like their home lot or whatever. But when it's a lot like a gym and there's other Sims around, it's kind of annoying because it's just the way the Sims work, but basically they're kind of like drawn to any TVs or computers on a lot. So when you have a gym that has TVs by the treadmills, other Sims, like random Sims, will just come over and like stand like behind a treadmill or like next to a treadmill to watch TV, which is really stupid to me and really irritating whenever I do gameplay. So in this build, I kind of like made the decision to not add TVs by the treadmills. But yeah, that's just it. If you want to add them, you can. I just didn't see a need for it. And also, I do have speakers throughout the build, and in every kind of like communal area, I have like music speakers. So your Sims can listen to music while they're working out to kind of like raise their fun bar as well, their fun need, if that's something you want to do. But yeah, I decided that having TVs would just be irritating and kind of like make all of the Sims congregate around the treadmills, which is what always happens on gym lots that have TVs, and it's very irritating. That's the same reason why on the like reception desk, you'll notice that I did put a computer there. And normally Sims would be drawn to that computer and they would want to like all use it for some stupid reason. But with this one, I actually, instead of having a chair snapped to the desk so that they could use the computer, I actually have the chair kind of like at an angle, so it's not usable. So your Sims can't actually use that computer. So yeah, that's just another like gameplay thing, because I know how irritating it is to have Sims like when they're on a community lot, like just all drawn to computers or TVs and not doing anything else, even though there's like 100 other things for them to do. So yeah, just something that I wanted to mention. And I think that's basically everything. We're currently working on the like locker room bathrooms, and then we're gonna move ahead to the spa, like the interior of the spa, and then we're gonna move on to screenshots after that. So yeah, so that's basically, I just hit the microphone. This voiceover is so professional, but I don't know, if I don't laugh about it, I'm gonna cry. So yeah, just bear with me. But yeah, so that's basically everything I think I wanted to mention about the build. Like I said, it is up on the gallery. I'll have all of the information about it and the lot traits that I gave it. I did give it a couple of lot traits as well. I'll have all of that listed in the description. But something else that I wanted to talk about that I haven't mentioned yet, and like I said, I am recording this on Wednesday. So we didn't get any news about it yesterday on Tuesday. But if for some weird reason we get news or like anything about this tomorrow on Thursday, then obviously this voiceover or like this part of the voiceover will be meaningless and won't apply anymore. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you watch this on the day that it comes out on Saturday and we did for some reason get some news or whatever on like Thursday. Then let me know down in the comments if, we did, because that would be fun. But anyway, so basically last year when they did the Sims Summit, live stream, I did a whole like co-stream of that, watching it with you guys, which I think I'll leave linked somewhere. But yeah, so in that live stream, that Summit live stream, they mentioned that we're going to be getting an infants update, which this isn't like the baby update that everyone's been wanting, where they've like liberated babies from the bassinet and they're not like objects anymore. Infants are actually going to be a completely new life stage. So infants are kind of like, from what I understand, they're kind of like between there. You have obviously when your Sims get a baby, when they have a baby, they have like a newborn. So that's the in-game baby life stage that we already have. Then after that, they're not going to age up into a toddler. They're actually going to age up into an infant, and then the infant will age up into a toddler. So it's kind of just a little bit more of a natural progression between, babies, like newborn babies, and then infants where they're like maybe like 5-6 months old, and then going into toddlers, which in The Sims 4, the toddlers are supposed to be a little bit like older than they were in like The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. So toddlers in The Sims 4, they don't crawl around. They already start out being able to walk. Your Sims can teach them to walk, but basically their movement skill just means that they walk faster, if that makes sense. So in The Sims 4, toddlers, like rather than being, like 2 years old, they're supposed to be like 4 or like 3 or 4 years old. So having the infant life stage, it's kind of like a nice midpoint between, having newborns, like actual newborns, and then having like 4-year-olds. So that's really cool. But they basically just mentioned that the infant update will be coming out early 2023. And that's the only information we've gotten about it. So I'm kind of like hoping, or like kind of guessing, I guess, that during January we'll either get the update in January, because I think if I remember correctly, the toddler update way back when, the toddler update actually happened, I think, in a January. It was in a January or in February. I can almost swear it, but I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, I think, by early 2023, I think they mean like January. Because we didn't get a big update before the holidays, and usually before the holidays, we'll get like a holiday update. And this year, or like last year, I guess I should say, we didn't get one. So that kind of makes me think that they're kind of like holding off a little bit to maybe do like a big, like with the infant update, maybe in January at some point. And then another thing is we haven't gotten a roadmap yet. So usually we get these like roadmaps like 3 or 4 times a year, kind of just telling us, what maybe like the next 3 months of Sims releases, like paid releases usually, will look like. So usually they'll tell us that we'll get like 1 game pack, 1 expansion pack, and like 27,000 kits or whatever in the next 3 months. Sometimes they'll even tell us, we'll be getting a couple of big base game updates in there as well. A couple of the roadmaps last year actually had that. They told us that we'll be getting like 1 or 2 big base game updates along with, the paid DLC. and we haven't gotten one yet. Now, I know a lot of the Sims team and a lot of companies are still on holiday, but last year, this is actually something Fantayzia pointed out in one of her recent videos, but I'll leave that video linked in case you want to check it out. But basically, she pointed out that last year, we actually got a roadmap in January. We got it on January 5th. So basically, that would be Thursday. So that would have been Thursday. So I don't know, maybe we'll be getting a roadmap on the 5th. I don't know, at this point, you know, when this video is going out, it will have already happened if it did. And if it didn't, then we're still waiting on it. But yeah, I'm kind of guessing we'll be getting a roadmap fairly soon, because yeah, honestly, I don't think they would make us wait for infants or a roadmap or stuff like that for too long, just because of how much hype they created around it last year with the Sims Summit. And with that summit, they also told us that we'll be getting 2 expansion packs this year as well, which is insane because the last like 2 years or something, we've only gotten 1 expansion pack a year and then a couple of other stuff. So having 2 expansions again this year will be amazing, and we're kind of like all waiting to know more about, you know, like when that will be. Obviously, this roadmap will probably only be for like the next 3 months. But still, we're all like really excited for news and everything like that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, what your speculation is about when we'll get like the roadmap and the infants update, and you know, when the expansions will be out and what you think they will be, because I have some thoughts about that, but that's for another video because this one is almost done. So I'm gonna wrap it up. If you guys like this build and this voiceover and all of that stuff, feel free to give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and want to see more Sims content, hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. But like I said, all of the links I mentioned will be in the description, and the download stuff and all of that. But I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. I just wanna love around you.